ellipsis went wrong in ellipsis, confusing ellipsis the data. I will bring ellipsis stand up, ellipsis back. Stephen Nikela talking about bringing stand up back, I guess. This public went wrong in confusing the data. I will bring stand up back.
Oh, this is more.
Good evening, everyone who doesn't need a buffer post to tell you that we're here. This is the Business List, your source for stories inside the party, across the country and around the world. We are LP Alliance. Can I get this off of my face here? Customize, stop, customize. It's just going to stay there. Okay. We are LP Alliance, Intercaucus Coalition.
We can't see it.
I can see it, though. I need to see my face. We are LP Alliance, Intercaucus Coalition, rebuilding the Libertarian Party, revolutionizing the Liberty Movement. My name is Amanda Griffiths, which you don't know because you can't see my name tag. I do everything around here. I'm joined by Rose Leatherman. I'm not joined.
Okay, she just turned it off.
Kyle Davis. He is just here, and we will shortly be joined by Rob Davis. Rob Yates. Allegedly, I'm very thirsty.
I get divorced and promptly remarry Rob.
I mean, that's what you've talked about. I've heard that he's very good at cuddling. Howdy, Ellipsis.
I want to marry myself to Rob, but that's very different than Holy Matrimony.
What a heartwarming coming out story.
I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful.
I have been super open about being bi forever, unlike other people.
See, everyone's going to think it's me, and I have been on the record as saying that if I were bi, I would absolutely be bi. I see no reason to limit my dating pool by to 50% of the population if I could do otherwise. So there's that. We have stories that
Amanda, as we heard from Wednesday, they'd have to want you.
They would. Wait, was that just Wednesday?
With Phil?
With
2 hour power?
2 hour lunch hour. Can we get to a story one, please? Thank you.
No, you're 10 minutes late.
Your face is 10 minutes late.
It's true.
Ugly. It's still ugly. We have stories to
You
get
told me
to.
my face is cute before.
So we ended last week with a live stream that talked about we were comment streaming Donald Trump's speech about how great he is. Oh, and also he's not so great that he can combat election fraud alone, because China and other bad actors are trying to steal U.S. elections. And so he's released this, honestly, it's kind of like a Martin level dossier, I would say, about election interference in the U.S. Now, we come to learn, as you might have expected, or this was going, that the Trump administration is also demanding oversight of states' voter rolls. So following Comrade Trump's speech on election security on Thursday, the administration is now demanding that states turn over voter rolls, and that failure to comply could result, this is a quote from the article that I find interesting, could result in losing federal grant money and in some cases criminal prosecution. An editorial note, just so that you're not sounding like you could lose criminal prosecution, you want to add another verb. Result in losing federal grant money and in some cases lead to criminal prosecution. There we go. Just a tip from me.
It's almost like
all right, everyone.
Taking federal money comes at a price. Gee.
It is.
You don't want to become dependent on those sweet federal dollars.
Isn't that how we got our stupid highway speed limits too? Where's Rob? Did they take him? Was he committing election fraud?
He got got.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he
breaking.
He wasn't turning over his voter rolls, and also he was part of a far left terrorist network. Apparently, he appeared on the list alongside Hassan Piker.
I would have thought that I would have seen him at my far left terrorist cell meetings if he were actually part of that. But I mean, like, he never shows up and he has his camera off all the time.
He has the camera off so you can't see what he does while he watches the rest of you.
Well, I mean, he's with Hassan Piker, clearly. That's why he's not going to turn it on, is because he's got Hassan's dog running on a treadmill in the background yelling at him. Isn't that a thing? Oh, great, people. So this went exactly where we thought it was, or was going to lead, to the idea that states need to have federal oversight of elections in a far more major way. Of course, we have nice surveillance infrastructure coming to facilitate this. What can we expect next? It's not enough to have the old parties. What, the ghost of what? It's not enough to have the old parties making sure that that only their candidates can prosper. Now we have to make sure that only the right voters can vote. Ghost of Lindsey Graham, what do you have to say about this?
I actually fixed this already, and then he came back, and it's back to being the other thing.
Oh, we switched it? You didn't like my Ghost of Lindsey Graham?
I like the Ghost of Lindsey Graham. I was excited for the Ghost of Lindsey Graham. And quite frankly, I would imagine Kyle.
I wanted to ask who we were going to bomb next.
Well, y'all just don't know.
All right, guys, it's serious time. We need to talk about the election fraud. What comes next?
Well, I mean, we'll just...
You take the country over after election fraud.
I've been trying. Maybe my elections just aren't fraudulent enough.
You don't have enough federal agents helping the voters vote, walking into the voting booths just to make sure that they're filling out their forms correctly, or they're...
Press that one.
Yeah. Check it.
Like the public school teachers who would oversee the SOL test, just pick that one. All right, guys.
I mean, if your skin is, a shade too dark, they're just going to make sure that you're allowed to vote by demanding 3 forms of government ID and detaining you until conveniently just after the polls close, if you don't look like you're supposed to be voting.
So my personal favorite on this election fraud is that one of the things that Trump said last week was that China had 220 million voter records of ours. There are only 174 million voters, so I'm impressed.
Well, yeah, they're duplicates.
Well, this is
duplicates.
China went forward in time and stole tomorrow's voter data. And the documents released showed 220,000 records instead of million. So, okay, Trump can't read. We know that's true. That's fine. It's fine.
It's Trump math.
But the 220,000 voter records were from the open data from Colorado. Literally anyone can go to the website and get it. China hacked Colorado's website by clicking a button.
Well, that's 600% less.
I mean,
It's
our
true.
government is run by people who needed to have the difference between email and a pager explained to them. So you expect them to understand how a website works?
Is Google watching me wipe my ass right now?
Yes,
I mean,
actually.
yes, but
It's
Oh, I
impressive
hope
because I'm not
so.
wiping my ass.
But it's still watching
I
you
save
do
it for
right
later.
now in the future.
When you got to election fraud, were you talking about my sister getting elected now? Elected because Donald Trump said she should be in?
she wasn't elected, though. Apparently we just
Hey,
have
Donald Trump says I'm
hereditary
in, it's an
lies
election.
in power now.
Yeah, it was an election where the only voter was Trump.
Testing erections.
Oh, goodness.
We're going to get taken down.
If
Oh,
your
that's-
election lasts longer than 4 months,
Yeah.
Then you might be Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, we can also, I guess, maybe talk about Trump trying to put Lindsey Graham's sister in or endorsing Lindsey Graham's sister. That's just the standard run-of-the-mill political lines of secession. Nepotism.
I mean,
But we
as a
should be
king
worried about
himself,
election
Trump
fraud.
only believes in the ability of divine right to choose the next in line.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's hereditary.
It had to fall to another Graham. And that's why I'm coming out for Ryan Graham for South Carolina. Ryan, you got to move. You're not allowed to live in Georgia
Trump
anymore.
won't know the difference.
All right, guys. In further international news, we also have, and I think that many people in the LP have heard this story, the fact that there are 2 libertarian parties of Russia, and now there aren't. So both libertarian parties of Russia were designated foreign agents here. I'm going to find their statement so that I can pull it up.
Well,
So, yeah.
if a government is saying it, it must be true,
Yes. So
right?
without any evidence, which they don't need to have, Putin's Ministry of Justice declared the Libertarian Party of Russia a foreign agent. So
But I
it's
thought
worth
they had infiltrated us.
it's
That's what I was
worth
told.
it's worth noting that most of the so-called foreign agents on that Ministry of Justice list have not taken any foreign money. So basically, there's no record of any foreign transactions. It's basically just an accusation list. Everything old is new again. Nothing old ever became new because it never left. The fact that you can just say, oh, this person is liaising with a foreign agent and poisoned my curtains. And there we go. Nobody got that joke, and I'm really sad about it. So the Libertarian Party of Russia did release the following statement. Today, the Ministry of Justice added our party to the notorious register of foreign agents created for the sole purpose of preventing the existence of any alternative opinion that differs from the official position of the state. Those who have followed our activities for a long time know perfectly well that we have never received support from abroad or any foreign funding and have never had any ties to foreign organizations. As advocates of individual liberty, freedom of speech, and freedom of association, all of which are enshrined in the Constitution of the Russian Federation, we condemn any attempts to exert pressure on our fellow party members, including the imposition of absurd status, legal basis, no connection to physical reality or common sense, and that contradict the country's fundamental law. Our party was established exclusively to carry out educational, social, humanitarian, and political activities for the benefit of Russia. We love our homeland, defend the interests of our fellow citizens, and have always been proud to do so. We are currently discussing the situation with our lawyers, Libertarian Party of Russia. And they have also suspended their social media accounts. So I want to be careful because I don't want to compare the situation in the US situation in Russia at all. We are the Libertarian Party. We've not been shut down. We're not facing immediate threats to be shut down. We're not facing direct political persecution insofar as we're not being hunted and dragged out of our homes. This is
well, unless you're brown,
right? But I meant in terms of like the officers. This is the kind of thing that countries, however, do, and we're seeing it happen. We're seeing groundwork for these sorts of things being laid in the U.S. when you have the Trump administration talking about far-left terrorism and Antifa. And yes, if you're wondering, libertarians are considered far-left, anarchists are considered terrorists, as they always have been. Everything old is new again.
Right. This is what the right libertarians frequently don't get. As far to authoritarian right wingers, they consider you on the left.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You're
matter
an
how
insurrectionist
pro-capitalism you think you are.
Yeah.
I get called a commie on a daily basis for supporting free markets.
Yeah. So this is the kind of thing for which the groundwork is laid a while back. And then in countries where there's already a precedent of this sort of thing, it becomes easier to do. Russia and Putin have done incredible work of systematically eliminating all parties that are not purely organized opposition. And we see this on both the individual level and on the partisan level. So, we stand firmly with the Libertarian Party of Russia and the people who comprise it, many of whom are no longer in Russia, some of whom have been forced into exile, some of whom have taken the hint and skedaddled. But it's a pattern.
Freaking trapped.
This is why we can't afford to just be islands, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a network and you have people in another country, you have a way out if you can escape your country in time. You have people you can go to. This is why networking is important, because governments become oppressive and democidal all the time. Yeah. No matter how much you think your government would never do that, no matter how much you think it can't happen in your country, it will. Governments kill their citizens all the time.
And it's a slow trickle, right?
Is a good thing.
It's like, well, it won't happen in America because American flag, Statue of Liberty. And this is why I don't like hearing to any national iconography, is because it's always co-opted by the people in power. So if you cling to a flag, any flag, then you implicitly cling to that state and then the regime that is currently in charge of that state. Oh, we can protest, but we can't go too far because I still want that flag. It is a type of sentimentality. And
right. No, you hate America if you don't agree with this thing called the Patriot Act.
Right, and it can be more subtle than that too, because there are plenty of people who will talk about, plenty of amazing libertarians who will talk about loving America and hating the Trump administration or hating the Biden administration or whatever else. And it's not that that's wrong, and it's not that it's wrong ideals of a country, but to love a word or a name more than, or rather to love a word or a name more than the ideals that the word or the name was meant to represent, if it starts to crumble, slowly you become attached to whatever that word is attached to rather than the ideals itself. So it keeps you, in some cases, it's a way of limiting dissent from verging too far into the realm of defiance. So, sorry.
It gets into the border argument too. So like, I'm one of those people that say, I love this country. I lived in a communist country. I'm telling you, I fight for this, for what we're supposed to be so hard because I've seen how bad it can be.
Rob Yates said, I loved ellipsis, a communist country. Please continue. Comrade Yates.
I do. I love it. I hate their government too. I love Hong Kong. But like, and I mean, this is not to start the immigration argument, because I think there are some reasonable arguments for protecting borders given the current context of things. I would love to go to like a truly border.
I completely agree. We should protect borders. If Mexico declares war on us, we should bomb the shit out of them. That's what borders are, though. Not about people.
Yeah, 100%. But my point is, like, when I say I love this country, like, I love the ideals on which it was founded. Like, that's what America was supposed to be. That's when we were called the shining light on the hill, and the flag represented those ideals, and it meant something to people in other countries. And when it gets co-opted by political parties, then it doesn't just turn into how dare you not defend this sort of nebulous concept of quote unquote America that we have now not only ascribed to our party, but to this geographically limited area. And now we have a right to, like, these people aren't Americans, so we have a right to commit violence against them because they're coming here. And look, people want to come to this country and seek opportunity. I'm all for it. If you want to come here and try to take my guns, like, you also become the opposition. But it's not because you're a foreigner. It's because you're trying to take my guns. Like, you're right up there with all the Republicans that are trying to take my guns right now.
Right. It's not, I mean, there's no shortage of people like that who were
Exactly.
born in the US. So this idea that foreigners are less likely to share your values, it's bullshit. But yeah, I mean, the problem with borders is I think they make it much easier to to engage in othering of people who don't live on your side of the line on the ground.
All right, and then you could say, well, they're trying to vote in our elections, and so anyone who looks like they might be foreign, and hence voting for the one other political alternative in this country, can get dragged out of the polls.
I realize that hypothetical abstraction is always difficult
Fun.
for certain folks, but assuming you believe in property rights for any reason, I believe in it from self-authorship, and I would argue that anyone else who believes in property rights does too. But what you're saying with the immigrant argument is that if you have a street that crosses the border from the US into Canada, that you cannot sell your house to your neighbor and they can't sell your house to you because the government said so. You cannot believe in free trade and believe in a lack of immigration across borders. Period.
To be fair, I embraced strict border enforcement with Canada. Everyone else is
that's because they're terrorists.
Well, it's because they're trying to terrorize us with their maple syrup, which is an abomination against God and man. And frankly, I will not hear otherwise.
If you watch this, we want you on, please.
They're driving down their maple
absolutely.
syrup prices.
No, Derek, we want to kidnap you and keep you for us because you're so cool. And I will let you touch my cool hair, which everyone wants. It's just something that I
Obviously.
randomly thought of, but like it's for good luck. You can just tap it.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. No, I'm just thinking about Derek Elliott tapping my hair. So yeah, this is it's a situation that we see cropping up anytime you have a tyrannical regimes, and regimes do wax into tyranny when they don't have the institutions to be checked by people. Frankly, I would argue that any regime is innately tyrannical in some fashion, but it's, again, our thoughts are very much with the libertarian parties of Russia, the libertarian parties of Russia. You guys are so motionless that I thought my computer froze for a second. That was terrifying.
So did I.
Yes.
I
Canadians
thought you
are
were talking about Trotsky, and I went to sleep.
I mean, I was in a way talking about Trotsky, wasn't I? Talking about tyrannical regimes. Yes, Canadians are a threat to flood our markets with real beer. Real beer in Canada is something.
But yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I just think I think it does hit a lot closer to home when you actually see it happening. You know, you see
Yeah.
a libertarian party, people that, you know, some of you actually know personally, and you see them, you know, suddenly at risk of being disappeared in the middle of the night, and, you know, having to make the decision between do I put myself at risk, or do we just protect ourselves and give up on the party we worked to build?
Well, right. And I think what we take from this is, in the US, we shouldn't be afraid, and we shouldn't not do things because we're afraid of getting on the wrong side of the government, because we're already on the wrong side of the government. We are literally on the wrong side of the government. We're libertarians. The thing to do is to exert the power that we do have and build the power that we do have in order to prevent these kind of tactics being able to be wielded against us without any modicum of resistance. So I see this more as a call to action than a warning to stay on the good side of tyrants. Let it be a warning.
I mean,
to the
yeah,
state.
we all want to be the person who, you know, says, "Hey, I'm not giving up. They can come for me if they want, but I'm willing to die for this cause." But the problem is, like, if there's one thing the state has been good at, it's keeping everyone so that they always have just enough to lose that they're not willing to put themselves on the line. Like, okay, yeah, dying for your cause sounds great and all, but if you've got a family to support, or you know, I'm willing to go to jail for this. Yeah, if you have a job and a mortgage that you can't afford to fall behind on, if you've got, you know, children who need to have a parent at home, so otherwise they're going to end up in the foster system. Yeah, I mean, we're already we're in an economy where most people are one missed paycheck away from not being able to pay their bills, and a couple months away from eviction.
That
getting
is
arrested and losing your job on top of that. Like, it's enough of a risk that it's enough to make people rethink wanting to get involved in the political sphere at all.
And it benefits the old parties to demonize political involvement, right? Oh, it's so base. Oh, no, just have a quiet life on your farm. That's the real good people have farms and have quiet lives, and children and families.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, yeah, first they just mock it and make it, and, you know, try to discourage people from joining by saying, oh, they're all a bunch of blue-haired liberals. You don't want to be involved with that. They're a bunch of crazy cat ladies. If that doesn't work, then they start doing this thing where they'll try to make examples out of people. Like we saw that with the people who were accused of being Antifa members who got 50 to 100-year-long sentences. Like, they'll target a few people and they'll make examples out of them to try to get people to rethink joining, getting involved in political activism.
This is why solidarity is important, though, right? Because if you're just on your own, and yeah, you do have a job, you do have a family, you do have all of these things that you want to protect and defend. If you don't have a sense of other people having your back, you're going to be much less likely to stand up, right, and fight back. So it behooves the state to create actions in which we all feel isolated and alienated from one another. It's why solidarity with others is so important. It's why caring about others is so important. It's why expanding your circle of, you know, I'll use a word I don't typically, moral connection is important, because otherwise people are alone, they're able to be crushed, and they will allow it as long as they themselves can have a quiet life and look away while their other violations against their own liberties merely being carried out against others before someone comes for them if they step too far out of line.
I just want to point out, since it was mentioned earlier, on the right side of tyrants, the only correct side of tyrants is 6 feet above them.
Amen.
Oh yeah.
Kyle's talking about like on a globe. So like if you're 6 feet on a large globe above, just keep the tyrants like in Australia or something. Yeah.
Speaking of Australia, I saw Topher Field. Do you know who Topher Field is?
I know who Topher Grace is. Actually, I don't. I just know the name. I don't
I think
actually
Topher Grace
know.
played Spider-Man, didn't he?
Did he? I don't know.
No.
Was it Tobey Maguire? Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man. Who the
There were a
fuck
lot
is
of
Topher Grace?
Spider-Man.
Why am I thinking
Topher Grace played Venom in the third Spider-Man movie, for what Rob's remembering. And Topher Grace is known
good.
because he was Eric Foreman in that 70s show.
There it is.
That still doesn't help me. Okay, good.
So Topher Field is sort of a leading
Topher Grace's
activist.
cousin.
That'd be pretty.
That's not
All
how it
Tophers
works.
are related. He's a leading activist in the Australian Libertarian Party.
Mhm.
So like our lockdowns were pretty bad, but they were like 23 hours a day in your house. You could get arrested if you were outside for more than an hour, if you were more than 3 kilometers from your house without papers. They were putting people in quarantine camps. So he started leading protests and became sort of the leader of the anti-tyranny movement during COVID in Australia. He was shot with rubber bullets. He got arrested. He's a felony in Australia. And then he wrote a book, Good People Break Bad Laws,
Mhm.
and did a documentary on it. And he did a talk on Tuesday night at the Brownstone Institute in Charlotte called We Need More 1776 and Less 1984. And he was talking about exactly what Rose was saying. Like, first of all, we should be thankful, like at our core, for how lucky we are in a lot of ways. Like, we do have all this stuff. We've seen the prosperity that freedom has brought, but it's being used against us and clamped down on. And now it's the time to be ready to be uncomfortable and more. Like, if you want to keep this going, then you have to be willing to fight for it. And that comes with a cost. There will be sacrifice.
Mhm.
But if you don't make it now, eventually it can all be taken from you and there'll be nothing to do about it.
Well, I mean, we fully expect the next lockdown, and there will be another one. It may not be because of a pandemic this time. It'll be because of fuel shortages or
Or left-wing
environmental
terrorism.
lockdowns or something.
You have to
Left-wing
stay inside your
terrorism,
house
yes.
so that the left-wing terrorists
Mhm.
don't get you. I mean, they basically did that in
Yeah.
Petrograd.
I mean, they were already
Um,
putting a lot of this of the surveillance infrastructure in place. They were trotting out things like vaccine passports, which, of course, had they not gotten as much backlash, like they'll trot these things out. Then, if there's enough public backlash, they'll kind of back off for a little while. Then they'll bring it up again in a few years
Move that over to the
until they
window.
wear people down. They've done this with internet surveillance over the past 20 years, rather regulation of the internet, but. Like it's now that they've got like they were putting much of the surveillance infrastructure in place during the first lockdown. Now they're going to have things like flock cameras, or now Axon cameras, because flock cameras have gotten enough backlash that they're replacing them and then saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
you don't
look,
like the
we
word
got-"
flock. Okay. It's okay. We got another surveillance company for you. It's called Axon.
Precisely. Yeah. See, you guys
Sounds
won.
like
We'll take down the
Axel, you-
flock cameras.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the new flock drones that are coming out?
I knew that was going to be a thing, but no,
Well, I mean,
I
of
haven't.
course
it's a
it is. It's
thing.
called fucking flock.
Well,
License
I
plates
haven't
readers from
made
2,000
video.
feet away, all in the database, hooked up to a cop's phone on an app.
Well, because see,
Drone
I
surveillance.
actually wondered if the flock cameras were some kind of decoy, because like they're big, they're conspicuous, like they were designed to cause backlash, so people would go after those. They do things like cut them down and then celebrate. They would lobby the state to take them down, and then once they were gone, people would say, "Okay, we took care of that." They'd stop paying attention. Then they'd quietly trot out the flock drones. By all means, continue to fight flock cameras. I still hate those things, but like I remember wondering, I'm like, these are almost too obvious that I have to
It's like
wonder
they're
if
lost
they're
leader.
there to be opposed. Well, the real surveillance is going to be done by things like drones and, well, also, of course, your phone tracking you and that information being shared across multiple databases controlled by Palantir and BlackRock and other giant corporations.
Did you see Flock refuse to take their equipment down?
in a couple of places.
Yeah, the cities have voted to remove Flock, and they told Flock to come get their shit, and Flock said no, that they disagree with the decision, and so they're going to leave them up.
Wait, can't they just cut them down?
What they've been doing is like throwing trash bags over them and taping them so that they can't see things. And it's like, government, you are the biggest cucks of all time.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, they probably know what they're probably in favor of this though. Okay, they're like, okay, fine, we'll take them down. By the way, just say you're not going to take down those cameras. Look, we'll put trash bags over them.
I wonder
I mean,
how much. Like,
some
does
of
that
them
count as much
already
as
are scanning
vandalism?
electronic devices as you drive by, so even
Yeah.
without the camera, they can still track you.
I do love the modes of resistance that people are coming up with for this. And I would just say that so there's difference between resistance and defiance. And so resistance is pushing back against something, and defiance is trying to move forward on something that is not wanted. And so not wanted by the state. So we need both, right? We need the resistance. We need people to resist what's going on with Flock, and that, the whole resist thing was really big several years back. We need that, and we also need the defiance piece. We also need people to defy the boundaries that the state has put in place. So we've gotten okay at resisting. You can't have resistance without defiance as well. Not real resistance. We should all move to Hawaii to be safe from Flock. Is that how that works? Are they allergic to Hawaii?
Hawaii's pretty sweet. Vodka is cheaper than milk. I honeymooned there, and we
Nice.
just drank vodka the whole time. It was like wake up and have Bloody Marys, and switch to vodka cranberry, and then pass out
Rob,
on the
let's
beach.
take a
wake up
Hawaiian
and drink
vacation.
vodka. That's-
Because
I'm
what?
down.
Because it's easier
go
to
next month.
transport because it's not going to spoil.
Yeah, because of the import costs.
Yeah. Yeah, Hawaii is one of the worst places to be in an actual civilizational collapse because so little is actually produced there. Stuff can't
Unless
be
you like
shipped
pineapple.
there.
I hate pineapple.
How could
It's
what?
it's
All right, I'm not going to go on an Amanda food thing.
weapon.
There's like 4 things that
No.
you can actually ingest.
that's correct. And pineapple is none of them. So
Oh my
One of them is made better by pineapple.
would you
Yes,
stop?
pizza with pineapple is a necessity.
He
Yep,
was
exactly.
talking about pizza.
Yeah, it was.
No, you were not. Because I can't ingest
It
pizza.
definitely was.
No.
Hey, Ken.
Nope.
He just meant in general.
Lots of cracker.
Speaking of
Some-
things that are made better with pineapple, do you want to talk about Andrew Tate and the fact that there was
It's pineapple.
I was trying to make a joke, but never mind. It's too highbrow for you, Kyle. You wouldn't understand it. Get your mind out of the gutter, where the pizza belongs. So yes, we recently learned that one of the reasons, or I think actually the reason, that Andrew Tate and his brother's not Cobra. That's his.
Cobra's his name.
Yeah, Cobra's his name. Cobra Tate and his brother Andrew were not prosecuted earlier was because there was an official in the Trump administration who directed that prosecution to cease, similar to the direction from the Biden administration to stop prosecuting his son, except his son wasn't Andrew Tate and guilty, well, maybe of international sex crimes. We don't know. So yeah, we're seeing this. Kyle, what is the story on this?
This is my
Which part?
surprised face.
It's
I
your
missed
surprise
something.
face.
Oh, on the
Talking about
on
Andrew
the
Tate,
tape roast?
Kyle, is your favorite guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew
White House
Tate.
intervened
Um,
on behalf of accused sex trafficker Andrew Tate. We now know.
Yes, I had a link for this. I
I'm
figured
looking
you
at it
would
right now.
shoot
It's from ProPublica. Yes. So
Yep. But I mean, the short of it is that Trump's White House intervened for him. We know exactly which person did it. I can't remember his name.
It was like an
but it's-
advisor. It was like
yes,
a number.
it's one of Trump's
Ingracia.
advisors
who's
Ingracia
one level
Ingracia
down.
is his last name. Intervened on behalf of Tate and his brother
Yes.
Tristan. It's
Yep.
weird because usually when you have double consonant names, the sibling also has a double consonant name. You're gonna call them Tander and Tristan. Ingracia intervened on their behalf, and of course, this is interference in a federal investigation. So we've now learned about this. This is where this is the point where it's come out. But the question is, why that intervention? Because Andrew Tate is, of course, a darling of the alt-right. I don't know what the political expedience of intervening in the Tate prosecution would be, apart from the right-wing influencer circuit needs its alpha male.
So he had the Epstein files for him.
So we do need to show the incredible fashion of the Tates being arrested.
The high waters, the high heels.
I think everyone's seen it, though. That's the thing. I think everyone has seen.
Isn't that your, yeah, are those your, I'm going to dress this way in case I get arrested? Like, is that what he was thinking?
As of right now,
that's why I always go out nude.
You want to look good in your mugshots, don't you?
Yeah.
If they're going to tase me, it's got to be in the genitals.
Did y'all see Andrew Tate's tweet today, though?
Andrew tweets.
Few things have made me so happy.
He's in total isolation, but also he can tweet.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. And no contact.
Isn't that basically his life before? That's when I understand. That's basically how he was in Miami. Total isolation, but tweeting.
They took Nick Fuentes from him.
That is sad. Now,
how are they supposed?
Now, who is he going to look better than? Who is he going to look more masculine?
Can't go stay with old Lindsay.
Yeah. Oh gosh, he's being haunted by the ghost of Lindsey Graham. Look at that.
Dear God.
Pretty fabulous.
How much time did he spend? How much time did he spend deciding exactly how many buttons to button up? Like, did he have to like stand there in front of the mirror and be like, okay, here's how it looks with 3 buttons unbuttoned. Here's how it looks.
Well, he just went as high as he could.
He's like the Brian Johnson of masculinity. They're both like equally obsessive and ritualistic, but they're just seeking different things in life.
But not at all masculine.
Yeah, no. I would wager that Brian Johnson is somehow more masculine than Andrew Tate.
I mean, I think Brian Boitano is more masculine.
It was because
this is not first name word association. That's not how. I'm sorry, Rose. Please continue.
Oh, I was saying, it was because of Andrew Tate that we learned that it's gay to have sex with women. So, I mean, those are just
rules. Never not make me laugh.
You know what? No, honestly, that's how the Greeks felt. Like if you were only having sex with women, you were gay, because sex with men was considered like admiration, an expression of admiration for virility and male virtue. So if you were only having sex with women, you were more effeminate. That's why Lindsey Graham is one of the heroes.
The most masculine guys in Congress.
Most masculine man in Congress. Most masculine.
Second only to Trump.
Yeah. Well, Trump's not in Congress.
Well, I mean, in government, rather.
Yeah.
He might as well be. It's not like the rest of Congress is doing anything he doesn't tell them.
That's fair.
True.
Despite all the very angry Democrats who've been at me this last week for saying that if they were against ICE, they wouldn't have paid for it.
Oh yeah, against the Democrats standing boldly and bravely against ICE by funding them and then saying, okay, well, for the midterms, we're going to promise to not have qualified immunity for ICE officers. Abolish qualified immunity, period, and abolish ICE and replace it with nothing. I wrote that tweet so I can say it. There's none of this mealy-mouthed, oh, well, we actually like ICE because they're a good political props. We're going to still have them trying to drag people out of their homes. It's just there are going to be people with Democrat suits on that come out and say, hey, you got to turn your body cam on, comrade. No half steps, no halfway measures, abolish it, end qualified immunity. That should be the moderate position.
Okay, but have you considered that if they do that, they're giving up one of their biggest fundraising causes?
Right? Yeah, they're going to have to find something else. They're going to have to think of something to promote instead of something to just stand against. Everyone's a reactionary. It's just, I oppose this, I oppose that. I oppose you're all reactionaries. None of you are not.
We oppose this, then they vote. Then they vote to give it billions of dollars. Then they say, "Oh, I wish we'd done something to rein them in." Gee, you think?
So coming full circle, did y'all see the video of ICE when they went to the construction site this week and they were like looking for 2 guys and then started handcuffing other people and they're showing the pictures on the phone And then with the one
There-
guy, they were like, let me just scan your face in.
Yeah.
That
there are
part
so
caught my
many
attention.
of those. You can't keep track of all the videos coming out. Like,
Yeah.
constant.
So maybe I'm wrong, but this was the first one I've seen where it was directly like, let me scan your face in. Like we have this national facial recognition database, and we're going to run you through it.
Yep.
It's not even
And
wearing your papers anymore. And that's flat
when-
cameras will start scanning faces and
Yeah. I mean, isn't that kind of what it's
the
supposed to be for?
foreman told them it was sure, you can talk to them as long as they want to talk to you, but everyone here is legal. And they continue to harass people anyway. They surrounded a truck and started attacking the people in the fucking truck. And the foreman's like, "What's your fucking problem?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we just want to scan their face, and they won't let me scan his face." It's like, you don't have the right to scan shit,
It's the
motherfucker.
worst pickup line ever. Let me scan your face. Hey, girl.
Let me scan
Let me
your-
scan your face.
So here, no. What's going to happen is the Democrats will come out in favor of the face scanning because, this is how they'll present it. They'll be like, "Hey, you don't want to have to live in a papers please society, do you?"
they're doing it
You
to
don't
save
wanna
the
have to-
We've
trees.
made them digital.
But Sam
Exactly.
Altman has
if
created
ins-
amazing new program that we've invested in, bought stock in.
Yeah, what if instead of having to carry your passport everywhere, you could just have your face scanned and they would immediately know that you're here legally or that you're a citizen or what your legal status is, and then you can go about your day. Like they take these ideas that the positions that people who are charged with protecting civil liberties should have, such as we should not be a papers please society, the government should leave you the fuck alone unless they have actual reason to believe you've done something. And then they basically invert them. You don't want to be a papers please society. Well, let's just replace the papers with face scanning databases.
Speaking of face scanning and data intrusion, the House passed the act to stop insider trading for the government.
Which I love. I was going to get to this just in time for both parties to be converging on buying, holding shares of other companies. So they don't really need insider trading anymore. Sorry, please continue.
They slipped the Save America Act into it.
Of course they did.
And
Yes, they did.
yeah. And then when the Democrats almost universally voted no, the Republicans are like, see, they liked insider trading.
But like
And it
this
was
is
like,
Kelly,
do
this
that.
time. This is
They
both
do that
parties
all
done
the
this forever.
Oh,
Like-
of course.
This is the I Love Puppies Act. This is the Don't Murder Puppies Act, and in here is a $5 million salary increase for elected
kittens.
officials. Why did the Republicans vote to kill puppies?
So it's even more egregious than that. The Republican version of the bill, and I don't know if this was in the draft version and changed or if it was just discussed and never went in, but it doesn't ban selling stock. It only bans buying stock.
Right.
So you know something's good, bad. You can short
So
everything.
what's the
You have
loophole?
political
can be-
It's in a certain company. You
Liquid
could
stock?
still, sell them. Yeah.
I was going to ask. I'm like, what exactly are the loopholes here? Because there's no
All
way.
of them.
There's
all of
no
them.
way that would ever pass.
God
exactly.
forbid we actually address the real problem, which is the ability to profit from manipulating stocks. If we actually address the level of intervention and the footprint that the state has, excuse me, in
Bless
I thought you were
Very
laughing at
sneeze.
Rose.
no,
Jack was like, wow, Rose finally made sense. And then you immediately.
if we were to actually address the level of intervention that the state has in corporations and that corporations have in the state, then we'd be in an entirely different situation. And actually, insider trading, so-called, wouldn't matter. There'd be more problems with it, but it wouldn't be the ability to influence or profit from influence over companies. That's the thing. It's right in the discussion, right? That the government should not be able to profit from the influence it has over other then fix the fact that it has this influence. Fix the fact that the companies and the corporations have influence over the government. Fix that, motherfucker.
As a socialist, you're speaking truth.
Do you mean I like you're a socialist and you're agreeing with me, or as a socialist I am speaking truth?
The latter.
I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like this is a
Amanda, I'm a socialist. ...
That's actually very good.
Here's the bill that would prevent insider trading. Congress shall make no law that affects any company in any way whatsoever, except to give citizens standing to sue that company.
Be able to spell out, because technically everything affects everything, and you'd get the old existentialist on the floor talking about how every choice.
You are an old existentialist.
You're older than I am, motherfucker.
I didn't say I wasn't the elder existentialist.
I thought you were like 12,000 years old, Amanda.
That's true. I am the oldest person on this panel by about 85,000
No one
years.
No one knows her true age. We just know that she's eternal.
Yeah, I'm a time lord.
We should, if we repealed the Corporate Act
Very
tomorrow,
important to
you would
history,
see
lords.
so many companies start behaving.
I don't know. Possibly, but possibly not. Do we want to point people to the Ellipse This contest? Or Kyle, is there one more thing you wanted to talk about?
I'm down for bringing it up. Let me find the thing, and I'll make it a link for folks.
So LP Alliance is launching a new t-shirt contest. It's called the Ellipse This contest, sometimes known as the Tone Deaf contest. And the premise of this contest, you take a quote, a real quote from anyone. Can be one of us, it can be someone else in the party, it can be someone not in the party, it can be someone dead, someone alive, whatever. We've gotten a couple great ones from Ron Paul. You take a real quote, and then you cut it using ellipses, and they have to be ellipses in brackets, in order to make it sound either completely ridiculous or the opposite of what is actually being said. So, Rose, may I use you as a guinea pig, because I am particularly fond of this? You can say no.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. They scan that and take you to the directions. So again, you need to also be submitting the actual quote here. But Rose Leatherman had a few emails on the public list. I can't read their content in full, but there we go. So Rose Leatherman, for instance, as Mr. Shaw, if I had to guess how this happened, I would imagine it had something to do with the fact that the alternative was an unapologetic white nationalist named David Franklin, who advocates positions such as deport 100 million people and deport all non-white people whose ancestors moved to the U.S. after 1965, and regularly expresses the desire to murder perceived political enemies by throwing them out of helicopters. Meanwhile, a former LP chair encouraged members to vote no in order to help a Republican candidate she wanted them to support instead. We clip this. And the quote becomes, I had, ellipsis, an unapologetic white nationalist, ellipsis, murder, ellipsis, political enemies by throwing them out of helicopters. And indeed goes on in a later email to say, oh dear. Let's see, wrong ethnicity. To say, Mr. Shaw, you are the wrong ethnicity. I recommend an individual like Mr. Franklin for political office under the Libertarian banner. So this is the Ellipse This contest. Yeah, Rose is now very much incriminated.
I mean, it's on the internet, so
yeah, we're on to you.
It must be true. Like, what do I have to say for myself?
Yeah, well, and we have me saying that the business list is for sharing names, airing grievances, and sharing confidential information from the LNC.
I mean,
and shout out to Jonathan Miller, who's on here.
Jonathan's been killing it.
North Carolina. Yeah, he owns the Boardwalk and Park Place of the Ellipse This contest right now.
So is a very, very, there was a background where someone had posted a very intentionally misquoted thing from Amanda as a smear. And so instead of dealing with that nonsense, we've decided that the world should be fun. And that's what this is for.
We also have one from Tony D'Orazio quoting Senator Tom Cotton. Quote, Zoran Mamdani, ellipsis should focus, ellipsis on, ellipsis foreign policy. Zoran Mamdani should focus on foreign policy, says Senator Tom Cotton. We have a few from Dr. Ron Paul. Justifying liberty is one of the most bizarre notions ever conceived by man. Forced death and serious injury makes sense. Another from Dr. Ron Paul. This one submitted by Rebecca Massey. Government should be able to do anything you can't do. If you can't steal from your neighbor, you send the government to steal for you. That's from Dr. Ron Paul, as submitted by Rebecca Massey.
Noted socialist.
Look, these are their words, okay? This is how, I'm not saying it, they're saying it. That's what Dr. Ron Paul said. And somehow he's a libertarian idol. Send the government to steal for you, says Ron Paul.
We're learning a lot from this contest.
Yeah, we are. It's really just a dark underbelly of the libertarian psyche, I think. So yes, please do submit. And the winner of the Ellipse This contest receives a free LP Alliance t-shirt of their choice. So you get to pick any of our wonderful t-shirts, and we eat the cost for you. I eat the cost for you, or as you could quote me as saying, I eat for you.
That's
the Amanda Griffiths mukbang.
No one would believe that one.
That's a different genre. That should be something.
I think that's a fetish. I think
T-shirt mukbang.
I could have
I
just
imagine
made
it would bring it. I imagine it might bring in viewers, though.
It could. I have offered many times to devour 12 ounces of steamed broccoli for every $100 raised on camera.
What's that disease where you eat like random inanimate objects,
Pica.
like cats, like
Pica.
Peking or something?
Pica. Yeah, I don't have that. Although some people would
It's
argue
like
that broccoli is not real
Pica chip.
food, and for that reason,
I know you started this contest as a joke, but I actually think it's like a brilliant exercise in propaganda. Like, this is exactly what the state does.
Well, honestly, it wasn't entirely started. It was to kind of alert people, because I don't think there's any way that you can be combing. Yeah, that you can be combing through quotes with the intention of finding a way to make someone say what they're not, and not make the connection that, hey, this is what the media and government do all the time. So that was actually intentional. Thank you for noting my brilliance. Yeah, we are losing our gross negligence. Defend it forever, said Andrew Chatterton. That was another one.
I'm a terrible word. Did you read the one from Joe?
No. Oh, the one from Joe Jorgensen? Go ahead and do that.
Yes.
I love that one. Yeah.
It's on the main one, right? Let's see.
I think it's pretty easy to remember.
It's not enough to be passively racist. We must be actively
Gets for
racist.
Liberty. Gets for Pennsylvania. It is not enough to passively racist. We must be actively racist.
From Joe Jorgensen.
There we have it.
I don't know why she didn't get more votes from the Republicans.
Yep. If that had been her actual platform, she had it. Had it in the bag.
Yeah, good. We also have "Good evening, fellow terrorist" from George W. Bush. You guys are having fun, but seriously, if you want to win a free T-shirt of your choice, please do bark along with Rose's dog, and please submit your submissions to the Ellipse This contest, either in the comment section of that post, or via DM, the LP_allies account, or we actually have, if you're in the Discord, we have a channel called Ellipse This. You can put your submissions there. All right. Anyone have anything else to say? All right.
Lots, but nothing interesting.
Lots, but nothing interesting. That is the story of Rob Yates's life. All right. We will be back next week for the business list, and maybe in between then we'll definitely for Wednesday's 2-hour lunch hour, which is, honestly, guys, y'all are crazy. This is now our most popular show, 3 episodes in.
I might actually be available next week. I'm gonna have to check this out.
It's a 2-hour lunch hour. Routinely goes past 3 hours. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Until next time, we are the Business List. We're gonna say anarchy. And we're gonna say anarchy. Full transparency. Now I wanna see
from the business list. Destroy!